The strongest prisons are built with walls of silence. Morning light falls between us like a wall. We have laid beside each other as we have for years. Before the war, when life would clamor through our windows, we woke joyfully to the work. I keep these moments like a living, silent seed. After days' work, I would smell the damp soil in his hands that felt the outlines of my body in the velvet night of summer. I hold his warm hands to this cold wall of flesh as I have for years.
Jap! Filthy Jap!
Who lives within me? Abandoned homes, confiscated land, loyalty oaths, barbed wire prison in a strange wasteland. Go home, Jap! Where is home? A country of betrayal. No one speaks to us. We would not speak to each other. We were accused. And you say parents did bring us up to be very pro-American and very as white as possible and behave as well as possible and don't make a fuss and don't talk about your poor conditions, because when we came back from camp, my mother worked 3 jobs in Chicago for 2 years, I think we were there. And I just remember it was so horrible because we were so poor. We had nothing. And my father had divorced us. So she was a single mom, having to support me. And I remember Chicago. It was pretty extreme, weather-wise as well as poverty-wise. She had to force-feed me liver because we had no source of protein. I mean, things like that. And she would leave me alone a lot because she was working. And so when I was sick or had the measles or whatever, she wouldn't be there. So that's what I remember about, coming out of the camps, having nothing. And I remember staying up late, making paper flowers for the veterans, and I think I had 2 dresses, and she would spend, late into the night, she would wash the dress and iron it. And I remember that she'd be ironing my dresses every other day. We were in Southside, so it was like there were a lot of black kids who picked on us and white kids who picked on us because we were Japanese. My mother said, don't talk about that. Don't tell people it's embarrassing. Don't talk about that. So it couldn't talk about being abused, it couldn't talk about where we lived, it couldn't talk about poverty. We never had enough to eat. I mean, it was a typically, like aftermath of a disaster kind of thing, is that you have to really struggle to recover. And so when finally the house was built, I remember I spent 30 minutes in the bathroom taking a bath because we didn't have a bath. But the issue is, okay, go from there to, getting straight A's, being a model student, doing the usual JA thing, getting 3 scholarships, going to UCLA. And of course, during that time, I wanted to be white. So at UCLA, I would, do the whole bleaching of my skin. I would do the whole, scotch taping the eyes, the whole, number, stuffing my bra. All of that to just be more acceptable and white. And I applied for the white social clubs like Green Bells, serve white guys, as football players and all that. And the racism was there, like, hey mama son, go get me a beer, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I have to forgive him every day. I don't think you just forgive and let it go and forget that. I bet there's no such thing. The trauma lives within you all the time. And so I have to forgive him every day. I have to say, okay, it happened, and I have to forgive you. And sometimes I don't want to forgive you. We encourage our kids that if anybody wants, if you see anybody bullying somebody, be an ally. It's really important to have an ally to say, stop that, or, you know, this is my friend, or, you know, guess what? You know, he's an amazing ball player, you know, or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody just to be your ally. And we encourage our kids to be an ally. And we encourage our community. We have a church every Sunday. Right. And we encourage our community to be allies. If you see any acts of sexual harassment, if you see any acts of racism, or if you hear inappropriate language, be an ally.
Hajimemashite, it's nice to meet ya. O genki desu ka? I'm greeting ya in Japanese, cause I am the Nihonjin, blood inside Masashi. Beyonce hombre kamikaze, little boy who's cooked with joy that burned to death in Nagasaki. Stole my wealth when Roosevelt abused me. I told myself, just go with your community. A wounded crane whose bruised brain was locked up in a furnace. A choo-choo train, the troopers came and dropped me in a turn. The Nona boy, a sergeant in the 442nd, the poster boy for Dirty Jack up in the war, you remember. The kid you thought was good at math, who learned to drive in cooking class, and know you heard with cooking glasses inside the looking glass. I'm taking all your jobs on why there's immigration laws. I'll serve your stars and sushi bars and use your cars for your applause. Uncle Sam, you can rock my war song, cause Japanese Americans are not wrong. I hate it when they say I shouldn't spray the world with paper bullets, cause paper cuts for hatred couldn't make up for this racial bullshit. I hate it when they say I shouldn't spray the world with paper bullets, cause paper cuts for hatred couldn't make up for this racial bullshit. Hey, how's it going? This is all my Scottish blood. A race and label white where Haitian fright and lack of love. I never want a privilege if I'm in my skin would have the pleasure to be set up as an infant to become the damned oppressor. When guilt consumes me, sometimes I look away from the whole of a filthy movie rated triple X. I pay for an order. I don't want to be a cop, a judge, or politician, but I benefit when any other send a black man to prison. Listen, I'm beginning to understand. I'm giving the upper hand, the privilege from Uncle Sam. It cripples me inside the ways I've lost my culture, so I nip it and cry like a demonic vulture. I better remember the ones who got it better than ever. Made this hate to chase the blame away, just like 11 September. If only for a day, I'll know that I'm Scottish. Chop the lion's Holland's head like William Wallace. I hate it when they say I shouldn't spray the world with paper bullets, cause paper cuts for hatred couldn't make up for this racial bullshit. I hate it when they say I shouldn't spray the world with paper bullets, cause paper cuts for hatred couldn't make up for this racial bullshit. Hey, I know it's hard to see me, but I'm still alive and kicking, surviving sickness and all that genocide's afflicted. I'm countless native blood thinning, hanging on for life. My skin for life and cries inside the sick and strangling all my life. Preparing ya, choosing to come clean because America diluted my bloodstream. And it's embarrassing cause Lucifer's one thing, but American hysteria's abusive and unclean. Shooting me for loot to seize my emeralds. Yeah, scrutiny for wounded me in General Custer. My spirit flowed ridiculous. No part was eating back my Mirabai indigenous. More heart to be exact. Smallpox and firewater living in hell. Here, locked in reservation like blended pelts. Here, Colin has to represent me through ridiculous rhymes. Cause if we don't, we're more indigenous. Gosh, I hate it when they say I shouldn't spray the world with paper bullets, cause paper cuts for hatred couldn't make up for this racial bullshit. I hate it say I shouldn't. Spray the world with paper bullets. Cause paper cuts for hate you couldn't. Make up for this racial war. The last samurai, the last king of Scotland, the last of the Mohicans, rolled into one. My raps have to die, like saplings in autumn. Cause everything's impermanent and it's over, I'm done. I hate it when they say I shouldn't. Spray the world with paper bullets. Cause paper cuts for hate you couldn't. Make up for this racial bull.
So it isn't like we were floundering in community and then we had to go to camp and then we made this miraculous recovery. It would have been ongoing if it weren't for the racism and the hatred that was there. So what we were in, this is one of the things, is internment camps are legal, federal, and international things. That there's international policy that says if I go to war with your country and you're living here, and I suspect you of supporting the war effort on that side, I could put you in an internment camp, and you could do the same for me in Japan. That's just international law. But what happened to us, all the other camps, there's no international law. There was no oversight. Geneva Convention oversees all the Department of Justice internment camps. So when my father was removed from us in Tule Lake, first he's put in the jail. So we have pictures of him in the jail.
and then put into the internment camp in North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota. Those internment camps were way better. They were red brick buildings, they had steam heat, they had a swimming pool, because the US government wanted to make sure that the Americans that were held over there were treated well. So they treated the enemy aliens, that's what they're called, well here, otherwise they would be punished. The Americans over there would be punished. They didn't realize is that nobody in Japan wanted my father, because he was an American citizen. If he came over, he was probably going to be a spy for the US. Such crazy stuff.
Do you know what I remember the most? I'm only 3 years old, right? Is the fear on my mother's face. You don't have to tell me anything. I don't have to understand any of it. But a child knows fear of their parents. And that's what sticks to me the most, is the fear on my mother's face. But everything was positive, and while growing up, everything was positive. But the people that resisted or they deemed not loyal to the US were sent to this one particular camp. They were then deported. A number of them were deported back to Japan. So it's, it's what's happening today, And that's what's so sad. You see, you hear about the Hispanic families being broken up, and the parents are just taken away, locked up, and it's awful. I mean, kids are kids. And kids get along, or they fight. The older kids, because I was in grade school, I mean first grade or whatever. Whereas the older kids, high school kids, they were very much discriminated against initially. This is in Seabrook Farm, Jersey, and yeah, they. But in Seabrook, I say it's unique because of the Europeans, right? They were displaced people from Europe. So the Estonians, the Hungarians, the Polish, the Latvians, many different ethnic groups. The southern migrant farmers, migrant laborers, not farmers, from the south of the Appalachian Mountains would come to Seabrook during the harvest seasons. So we grew up in a community that is in a rural setting that was very much like an urban setting of a lot of mixed cultures. So we grew up learning different languages, and the Estonians were probably the most and largest group. That came, but it's totally a mixed community. And we were all in the same boat, poor. Or we're trying to reestablish ourselves. A new beginning, because it was a new beginning for many people. We didn't realize that growing up as kids. We grew up with different ethnic groups. And that became really a pride. Looking back on the history, is that we were able to get along. All the different cultures were all in the same boat in the sense of trying to recoup from the war. And so we managed.
Exhibit for hosting us today, and thank you so much for coming and being with us. My name is Yayoi. I have been a Bay Area artist for the last 19 years, and I'm the choreographer for this piece.
And I'm Colin Masashi, educator and artist from Richmond, California.
Aloha, my name is Wailana.
Hi, my name is Lydia.
Hey there, my name is Aaron, and I grew up not too far from here, so it's nice to be back dancing near my house.
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm Sharon.
Adoni Zamian.
And my name is Isha.
All right, can we give him a huge, huge thank you